You're going about your day, coffee in hand, lost in the rhythm of routine, when suddenly something shifts. Maybe it's the way the light hits a stranger's smile just so, reminding you of them, or a song you haven't heard in years, drifting through a cafe, wrapping around you like a ghostly embrace. And just like that, you're pulled under, not by memory, but by something far stranger. A whisper of presence, a flicker of knowing. This isn't nostalgia. This is your soul picking up a signal. Twin flames don't just miss each other the way ordinary people do. This is a connection that scoffs at physical separation, that treats time zones like minor inconveniences. When they think of you, really think of you, it doesn't just linger in their mind. It travels. It tugs at the invisible thread between you, sending ripples through your shared energy field like a stone dropped into still water. And here's the wild part. You feel it, not metaphorically, literally. Your body reacts before your brain can rationalize. Your mood shifts without warning. The universe starts arranging coincidences with the subtlety of a Broadway production. Over the next few sections, we're diving deep into most undeniable signs your twin flame is thinking of you, and how to tell whether those signs point to reunion or simply a love that transcends form. In a world that dismisses the unseen as imagination, these experiences are your proof. What you share isn't confined to texts or timelines. It's alive in the quiet moments, the charged silences, the way your heart still answers when there's calls across the distance. So, if you've ever wondered whether they feel it too, whether the longing is mutual or just your own heart's echo, keep reading. The answers might surprise you. And hey, if nothing else, you'll finally have an explanation for why you keep waking up at 3 a.m. with their name on your lips. You're sitting there minding your own business, maybe sipping coffee, scrolling through memes, or pretending to be productive, when bam, out of nowhere, a tidal wave of emotion crashes into you. Joy, sorrow, longing. It doesn't matter which. What matters is that it feels foreign, like it doesn't entirely belong to you. And then the inevitable thought, was that them? Let's be real. If you've ever experienced this, you've also probably second-guessed yourself into oblivion. Am I just making this up? Is this wishful thinking? Or is my twin flame really out there, missing me so hard that their feelings are telepathically punching me in the gut? Here's the wild thing about twin flames. They don't play by the rules of regular relationships. You don't just miss them in the usual, "Oh, I wonder what they're up to" way. No, it's more like your soul has its own Wi-Fi connection to theirs, and sometimes, whether you like it or not, their emotions download straight into your system. How to tell the difference between their energy and your own overthinking. This is where things get tricky. Because let's face it, when you love someone this deeply, your brain loves to mess with you. One minute you're fine, the next you're spiraling into, do they even remember I exist? Territory. So how do you know what's them and what's just you? Here's a little test. Does it feel like an intrusion? Real twin flame energy often comes uninvited, like a song you didn't choose suddenly playing in your mind. Is it tied to a memory or symbol? Maybe you smell their cologne out of nowhere, or a song from your past pops up 3 times in one day. The universe loves a good hint. Does logic fail to explain it? If you're happy one second and then drowning in sadness the next, with no life event to justify it, chances are you're picking up on their emotional weather report. If this is them, if their longing is so strong it transcends time and space to knock on your heart's door, what does that actually mean? Well, for starters, it means the bond is still alive. Distance doesn't erase a connection like this. It just changes the way it communicates. But here's the real question. Why now? Why, after weeks or months of silence, do you suddenly feel them so intensely? Maybe they're at a crossroads. Maybe they're finally facing the emotions they've been running from. Or maybe, just maybe, the universe is nudging you both toward something. So, what do you do about it? First, don't panic. Easier said than done, I know. This isn't necessarily a sign to text them at 2 a.m. with "I felt you today." Unless you're feeling bold, then by all means, go for it. Instead, take it as confirmation the connection is still there. Whether it leads to reunion or simply deeper growth is up to the both of you. But most importantly, trust yourself. If your gut says it's them, it probably is. And if it's not, well, at least you got a free emotional roller coaster ride out of it. Silver linings, right? So the next time a rogue wave of emotion hits you out of nowhere, smile. Because whether they admit it or not, somewhere out there, your twin flame just proved that love doesn't need a phone signal to reach you. You're in the shower, where all great revelations happen, when suddenly, out of nowhere, their voice pops into your head. Not a memory, not a fantasy, but a full, clear sentence in their tone, their cadence, like they're standing right there whispering in your ear. And the wildest part? It's not even something you'd normally think about. Maybe it's a random phrase they used to say, or an inside joke from years ago that somehow surfaces like a psychic text message. Okay, you think, either I'm finally losing it, or this twin flame thing just got way more real. Let's get one thing straight. This isn't normal missing someone. Regular longing is replaying memories like a nostalgic movie. Twin flame telepathy? That's your subconscious picking up their actual mental radio frequency. It's less, I wonder what they're doing, and more, why am I suddenly hearing their thoughts as if my brain switched to their podcast? Science doesn't have a neat explanation yet, but anyone who's experienced it knows this isn't imagination. It's too specific, too unexpected. You might be mid-conversation with a friend when, bam, you hear your twins laugh in your mind, or you're falling asleep when a wave of their emotion, not yours, hits you like a rogue wave. The kicker? These moments often coincide with times they're actually thinking about you. Maybe they're staring at an old photo. Maybe they're arguing with themselves about reaching out. Either way, their mental energy crosses the invisible bridge between you, and suddenly you're involuntarily eavesdropping on their inner world. How to tell the difference between telepathy and wishful thinking? Here's where it gets tricky. When you love someone this deeply, your brain loves to play tricks. That little voice saying they miss you, is it intuition or just hope wearing a convincing disguise? Try this reality check. Does it feel like an intrusion? Real telepathy often arrives uninvited, like a song stuck in your head that you didn't choose. Is the content oddly precise? Generic "I miss you" vibes could be projection, But if you suddenly hear them say something they'd actually say, like a phrase they use or a niche reference, that's the good stuff. Does it come with physical sensations? A sudden warmth in your chest, chills, or a ping in your third eye area often accompany true energetic downloads. Twin flames share an energetic blueprint, like two devices logged into the same soul-level Wi-Fi. Separation doesn't disconnect you, it just mutes the volume. But when one of you intensely focuses on the other, that signal boosts. Maybe they're reminiscing. Maybe they're resisting the urge to call. Maybe they're finally doing their shadow work and accidentally broadcasted an emotional epiphany straight to your psyche. Whatever the reason, telepathy is the universe's way of winking. See? You're still linked. What to do when you catch their mental signal? First, don't panic. Too late? That's fine. This isn't a sign you need to break no contact or analyze every blip. It's just confirmation the bond is alive. Acknowledge it. A quiet, hey, I heard that. In your mind sometimes, weirdly gets received. Journal it. Patterns emerge over time. You might realize these blips align with their real-life actions. Don't force it. Telepathy works best when you're not straining to listen. It's like trying to catch a radio station. Sometimes you just gotta relax into the static. And remember, just because you're psychically connected doesn't mean you're obligated to act. Sometimes the message isn't reach out, but simply, you're not crazy. This love exists beyond time and space. So the next time their voice hijacks your thoughts, smile. Even across silence or distance, some bonds refuse to stay quiet. And isn't that kind of magical? You're sitting at your desk, scrolling through emails, when suddenly, zap, a bolt of warmth shoots through your chest like someone just plugged your heart into an invisible charger. No reason, no warning, just this inexplicable knowing that somehow, somewhere, they're thinking about you, hard. Or maybe it's the chills, those random full-body shivers that hit you out of nowhere, like your soul just walked through a ghost. You check the thermostat. Nope, room temperature's fine. Your logical brain scrambles for explanations, while your gut whispers, that was them. Here's the wild truth about twin flame connections. They don't just live in your heart or mind. They take up residence in your nervous system. While your overthinking brain debates whether they've moved on, your body, that wise, wordless creature, is out here picking up their energetic broadcasts like a satellite dish tuned to Love FM. Science might call it psychosomatic. Spiritualists call it energy exchange. But anyone who's felt it knows. This isn't imagination. It's too physical, too visceral. You might be grocery shopping when, bam, your solar plexus tightens like you've just been emotionally sucker punched. Or you're drifting off to sleep when a wave of their sadness floods your body like you're suddenly wearing their skin. These sensations aren't random. They're your soul's Morse code, dash heart flutters or warmth. Their love is dialing your frequency, sudden nausea or gut tension. They're struggling and you're feeling it. Unexplained tingles, especially crown, third eye. They're sending a psychic ping, goosebumps out of nowhere. Your energy fields just brushed against each other. The weirdest part? These often sync up with their emotional peaks. That 3 a.m. panic attack you couldn't explain, they were probably wrestling with big feelings. That random burst of joy during your commute. Maybe they finally admitted to themselves how much they miss you. Quantum biology suggests our cells might store information beyond DNA, like energetic imprints of those we're bonded to. Ancient mystics called it the silver cord. Modern twin flames know it as that invisible tether that makes your hands tingle when they're about to text. This isn't fantasy. Trauma research shows our bodies hold emotional memories independently of our brains. So when your chest aches for no reason, consider, is it your pain or are you downloading theirs? Next time your body freaks out randomly, pause the panic, breathe, ask, is this mine or theirs? If it lifts as suddenly as it came, probably not yours. Keep a symptom journal. You might notice your random heart palpitations always happen at 11:11, or whenever they post cryptic Instagram stories. Trust your skin more than your screens. No text could ever convey what your nervous system picks up instinctively. Those chills when you thought of them yesterday, that was your body's secret handshake across the miles. The beautiful, bizarre gift of embodied connection. This isn't pathology, it's privilege. How many people get to experience love so deep it rewires their somatic experience? Your cells literally refuse to forget them. Your skin remembers their touch even in absence. Your heart recognizes their frequency, like a mother knows her child's cry in a crowded room. So the next time your body betrays you with unexplained symptoms, don't fret. It's just your flesh and bone proof that what you share transcends time, space, and all rational explanation. The connection lives in you, literally, and no amount of silence can change that. Now, if only they'd put all this longing into a text message instead of telepathic heartburn. Am I right? You swore you were over it. You deleted their number, muted their socials, told yourself you were moving on. And then, as if the cosmos itself were laughing at your resolve, there they are. Not literally, of course. That would be too easy. No, it's subtler than that. A mutual friend suddenly brings them up out of nowhere. Their favorite song plays in the grocery store again. You take a new route to work and, what are the odds, pass their old apartment. It's like the universe is a mischievous stage director, constantly rearranging the set to keep them in your peripheral vision. Oh, you thought you were done? Cute. Let's be honest, most random encounters aren't random at all. They're breadcrumbs. Little cosmic nudges that say, hey, this story isn't finished yet. And if you're paying attention, you'll notice these breadcrumbs always seem to multiply when they're thinking about you. Why? Because energy attracts energy. When their mind lingers on you, when they're scrolling through old photos or fighting the urge to reach out, their focus sends ripples through the fabric of reality. And suddenly, the universe starts conspiring to keep your connection alive in the weirdest, most inconvenient ways. Here's the tricky part. These signs are only meaningful if you don't force them. Desperation has a way of manufacturing evidence out of thin air, like when you convince yourself that the barista giving you a free coffee must mean your twin flame is coming back. It doesn't. That's just good customer service. So how do you tell the difference between divine intervention and your overactive imagination. Does it feel like a ping? Real signs have a certain zing, a jolt of recognition in your gut. Is it repetitive? Once is happenstance. Twice is coincidence. 3 times? That's the universe clearing its throat. Does it defy logic? Like when you dream about a long-lost necklace and then find it in a thrift store the next day. Yes, that happens more than you'd think. What to do when the universe won't let you forget them? First, breathe. These breadcrumbs aren't here to torture you. They're reminders that some bonds don't dissolve. They just change form. Second, trust the timing. If life keeps circling you back to them, there's a reason. Maybe it's not reunion yet. Maybe it's just closure or healing, or the universe making sure you don't lose sight of what really matters. And finally, stay open, not necessarily to them, but to the magic of connection itself. Because whether this love returns or simply transforms, the fact that it leaves echoes means it was real, and real love never really leaves. So the next time you turn a corner and stumble into another coincidence, smile. The universe has a funny way of keeping the people we're meant to remember right where we can't ignore them. So here you are, standing at the edge of what feels like a cosmic joke, heart full of whispers you can't quite decipher, wondering if any of this means what you hope it means. Let's be real. Twin flame connections don't follow the rules of ordinary love stories. They're less like neatly bound novels and more like ancient maps, scrawled in a language only your soul fully understands, with paths that double back, fade, and sometimes vanish entirely before reappearing when you least expect them. But here's the secret hiding in plain sight. The map isn't lost. It's just being redrawn by you, by them, by whatever strange alchemy exists between two people who recognize each other across lifetimes. Those synchronicities, the telepathic pings, the way the universe keeps nudging them into your periphery, they're not just about whether they miss you. They're about you, about the parts of your spirit still in conversation with theirs, even in silence. This connection isn't a test you pass or fail. It's a mirror showing you where you're still growing, still longing, still learning to trust the invisible. And if today the reflection feels blurry, that's okay. Some of the most profound love stories aren't about togetherness. They're about transformation. The kind that leaves you softer where you used to be brittle, bolder where you once hesitated. The real question you should be asking, instead of, do they still love me? Try this. What is this love asking me to become? Because twin flames don't cross paths just to linger in nostalgia. They collide to ignite something in you, in them, in the space between. Maybe right now that something is patience, or forgiveness, or the courage to walk away without closing the door entirely. Whatever it is, it's yours to claim. Let's settle this once and for all. You don't need a reunion to validate what you've shared. Some bonds are like constellations, most visible in the dark, guiding without touching. If all you ever get from this connection is the reminder that love can shake you to your core and still leave you standing, that's not nothing. That's a rare kind of gift. So the next time you feel that familiar tug in your chest, or catch the universe winking at you through a coincidence, smile. You're living proof that some connections can't be measured in texts or time spent apart. They exist in the quietest moments, in the way your breath catches when you least expect it, in the dreams that linger like perfume, in the unshakable, knowing that somewhere, on some level, they still feel you too. And really, isn't that the most magical part of all? That in a world obsessed with proof, you get to carry this one truth like a secret. Love doesn't always need presence to endure. Sometimes it just needs you, awake, aware, and still open to the wonder of a bond that outruns logic. Now go live your life, not waiting, not worrying, just fiercely, unapologetically being. The rest? Well, let's just say the story isn't over, it's just waiting for the right words.